The way you communicate and interact with hearing and visually impaired people is slightly different due to their dual sensory impairment. These video clips will show you how to do both. The most important thing is to allow plenty of time. When someone's vision and hearing are impaired, everything takes longer. Speak directly to the person and don't worry if they don't understand you straight away and you have to repeat something. If you follow the tips in the clips, hearing and visually impaired people can also be part of what is going on. First of all, say the hearing and visually impaired person's name at a normal volume. If they don't react, touch their shoulder gently but firmly and wait until they notice you. Tell them your name first. If they don't recognize you, explain briefly who you are. There are different ways of communicating with hearing and visually impaired people. You should first ask the person what is best for them. We will tell you about the most common forms of communication here, but in every case, it's important that you speak clearly and repeat anything that hasn't been understood. When a person has a hearing and visual impairment, speak clearly and slowly and use whole sentences. Make sure that you are in quiet surroundings and that your face is well lit so that the person can lip read if necessary. When a person is deaf and visually impaired, ask them how far away you should stand and how large their field of vision is at that distance. Adapt your signing to fit in their field of vision. Make sure that your face is well lit so that the person can see your signs and lip read if necessary. If the lighting is poor, it's hard for a hearing and visually impaired person to see your signs. They will understand you better if they can feel you signing. To do this, they will either put their hand on your forearm or your hand, which is called tracking. This allows them to feel your movements and hand shapes. Sign clearly and not too fast. Don't hold the person's hand. Usually, you can write on white paper with a dark-colored pen. Felt-tip pens are best. Ask how large the writing should be and write the letters clearly. Choose a pen of the right thickness for the size of the writing. You can also type in letters on a smartphone or tablet. The hearing and visually impaired person can enlarge the font as required. It is easier for a hearing and visually impaired person to follow a conversation when they know from the start what it is about. Inform them what the subject is. For example, your doctor's appointment tomorrow. What do you want to do about it? Inform them when the topic changes during the conversation. For example, we're just talking about yesterday's outing. Hearing and visually impaired people need more time to do a lot of things. Don't simply interfere if you notice that they're looking for something, for example. Let them do it themselves or ask if they need support. For example, what are you looking for? Can I help? When you are guiding a hearing and visually impaired person, they will take hold of your arm, referred to as your guiding arm, above the elbow and walk one pace behind you. Walk at a normal speed and make sure that the path is wide enough for two people. Slow down or stop briefly when you are approaching an obstacle or steps. If necessary, tell the person you are guiding about the type of obstacle or steps. When you are about to go through a narrow gap, take your guiding arm backwards into the middle of your back. The person will feel that and automatically walk behind you. A hearing and visually impaired person will not automatically notice whether or not you're there. Always tell them when you're going away, for example, to get something. Let them know when you come back. The hearing and visually impaired person's sunglasses, bag or white stick must stay where they've put them. Don't change the position of anything because even moving something a short distance can make it impossible for the hearing and visually impaired person to find it. If something has to be moved, tell the person so that they can do it themselves. To show a hearing and visually impaired person something, put your hand under their palm and guide their hand towards the object. If you want to give them something, put it gently in their hand. Hearing and visually impaired and deaf-blind people will be pleased if you make contact with them and enable them to take part in what's going on. This means that they can be involved too.